I'm Farmer Tom. I'm here at Jones Family Farms. I've got the cornfield behind me and my good friend Bartle here. We're going to read to him The Little Scarecrow Boy. It's a great story about a scarecrow who grows up to be very fierce. So let's read the story. The Little Scarecrow Boy. Once upon a time, in a cornfield, there lived a scarecrow and his scarecrow wife and their little scarecrow boy. Every day of the world, Old Man Scarecrow went into the cornfield to make faces at the crows. And every day of the world, his little scarecrow boy wanted to come too. And every day of the world, Old Man Scarecrow said, "No, no, little boy, you can't go. You're not fierce enough to scare a crow. Wait till you grow." So, every day, the little scarecrow boy stayed at home all day and just grew. What do you think of that, Bartle? Well, every day out in the field, Old Man Scarecrow waved his arms and made terrible faces. He made such terrible faces at the sight of him there, those crows lost their feathers at the sight of him. And they flew far away, very far away. Every evening, when the sun went down, Old Man Scarecrow came rattling home. And all evening, he sat in his scarecrow house, teaching his little scarecrow boy how to make fierce faces. Old Lady Scarecrow whistled through her straw teeth at the looks of them there. But early in the morning, when the sun came up, it was the same old no. "No, little boy, you can't go. You're not fierce enough to scare a crow. Wait till you grow." So, the little scarecrow boy stayed at home all day and just grew. Then, one day, after the little boy had learned all 6 of his father's terrible faces, so that he could make them one after the other, he decided to run away. Early the next morning, he would go out into the cornfield and he would frighten a crow. So, before the sun came up, or Old Man Scarecrow was up, or Old Lady Scarecrow was up, the little scarecrow boy slipped out of bed, dressed quietly on tiptoes, and went quietly out of the house, over to the cornfield, up on his father's post in his father's place. It was a fine shining morning with the sun gleaming green down the corn blades. The crows circled in the air far away over the trees, and the little scarecrow boy waved his arms through the air. He had never felt fiercer in all of his life. And then came flying a big black crow. Oh! The little scarecrow made his first fierce face. Arr! And still came flying a big black crow. Oh! The little scarecrow boy made his second fierce face. And still came flying the big black crow. Oh boy! His third face. Oh! Time to go! So the scarecrow boy ran, and he ran down the corn rows, the black flapping wings making a noise now, and looking back, he could see the blue sky through the ragged feathers of the nearest crow. He ran, and then he stopped. His fourth face. Blah! And still came flying the big black crow. So he ran, and he ran, and he ran, and he ran. And the crow flew, and he flew, and he flew, and he flew. And the little scarecrow boy ran. And then he made his fifth and next to fiercest face of all. And still came flying the big black crow. The little boy had only one face left now and hardly any breath. Even so, he stopped. And with his arms stretched wide above his head and his fingers drooping on his hands, he gave the big crow the sixth face. And whoa! The old crow flew backwards, through the air, feathers flying everywhere, until there wasn't even the shadow of a crow on the land. A scarecrow at last. The little Scarecrow Boy knew that he was as fierce a scarecrow as there ever was in all the cornfields in all the world. And then he saw a shadow in front of him. And he looked up, and there behind him was Old Man Scarecrow, his father. And his father was proud of his little boy who had made all six faces at the crows. And he picked up his little Scarecrow Boy in his scarecrow arms, and they went home to breakfast. And when the little Scarecrow grew up, he was the fiercest scarecrow in all the fields and in all the world. That's a fantastic story. I hope you enjoyed it. Well, I'm here with my good friend Tom, and I'm here with my good friend James. In all seriousness, with the book about crows, crows like to eat seeds. And when we plant our pumpkin seeds in the fields, they like to land and pick up those seeds, and then they don't germinate and grow into pumpkins. So crows can be a bit of a bother in our fields. Also, a lot of other bird life like to eat the grapes to have some sustenance and food. So we have to put netting over that. You've probably seen in the summer during our berry season where the birds like to eat the fruit, and so we have to net all of our crop. So the bird life is an important aspect of our habitat and the diversity we have here in the farm. So we try to work with nature, but they can be pretty crafty and they can do some damage. So we have to work with them. But that was a fun story about crows and how a scarecrow can help scare them away if you're fierce enough. So we hope that with fierce cooperation we can work with Mother Nature. Have a great day.
From all the farmers here at Jones Family Farms, thank you for listening to Storytime. We hope to see you visiting our farms and participating in bringing in the harvest. Our website is the best resource to answer questions regarding any of the seasons on our farm.